Right guys, it's Chris, your YouTube daddy here, and I've got Ginger here again doing the final repairs. We had a problem with the Crazy Fruits. The battery was on its way out, so he's changing the board on that. Look at all these spare parts I've got here. So the nice Ginger man has been across to his mate at the repair place, and they've got lots and lots of new repaired boards here, and Ginger is now popping a new board in. So which board's that?
This is a Scorpion 4 by Bellfruit. It's used in most of your main deal or no deals. It's mainly used in these casino cabs as well. The battery damage on the old board was extensive.
So therefore, if
needed a new board.
Yeah. So if your battery goes or it's on the way out, what that basically means, it means that the game forgets its memory. So when the game's been turned off and you turn it back on, it should go back to exactly where the game stopped. And if you don't keep the battery on top of the batteries, it'll forget its memory. So that's why I'm having that done now. So that one's been done now, and he's just going to set that up. So basically, if you send the board off, you have it cleaned up, and you have it with a new battery. So is this the old one here?
The old one is...
Is that the old one there?
Yeah, that's the old one.
Right, that's the old one there. You can probably see on the battery, that's the battery, the green thing there. You can see the battery starting to corrode. Now this happens. How long do batteries normally last for?
They do last, depending on where the machine's sat. So in the cold, they don't last that long. In the heat, they last quite a bit. If they're constantly in warmth, anything. Your main battery, I'd like to say, batteries I've used in the past stay for about 3 to 5 years.
Yep. So, but basically what happens is when we close down during the winter, it's obviously cold and the machines aren't on. So that's when we can start getting battery damage, which has happened here. Where I say, now if I don't repair it, it will eventually lose its memory. So it's better to repair it now before it starts to become problematic. And as I said, the reason why I'm opening early, a couple of weeks early, is so we can iron out all these problems. So the only machine we had to do was that one there, which is just doing. This one here, which we'll show you on the after this, when he does that one, that needs a game card changing. And this one, which is one of my favourite machines, which is Delve Millions, that had to have a motherboard replacement as well. So Ginger's here doing my last 3 machines, and then that means everything is on top condition. We've had all the batteries changed which need changing, and everything's working top notch, so it shouldn't give me any problems during the season. Okay, so Ginger's just fixing all this off, and what we'll do is once he's fixed it, I'll show you it working. Right, it's now working, so he's just going to set the DIN switches up and stuff like that. So for those of you who don't know, on the board there's an array of different DIN switches which are there. Now each one of these switches makes the machine do different things. So you can have it where when you win it either go in the bank or automatic payout. You can get it to take only 1 coin or multiple coins. So now it's all working and he's got the new board on with the new battery on it. He now needs to set up all the DIN switches and make sure it's as I want it. So for instance, I wanted to have automatic payout. We need to make sure the volume's set at the right level and everything's working. So that's Ginger now setting it up. So he's just setting the volume up at the moment. There we go, that's the volume done. Have you done the DIN switches?
Yeah, done it.
So I've done the DIN switches. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So once he's put it back together, so what at the moment is he's just doing a hopper dump at the moment, so we can start it all back from the beginning. Back in 1 second. Right guys, it's now all set up. The Ginger Ninja told me it's all set up and working right. So we're going to chuck a couple of quid in it now and make sure it plays all right. So that's had a new board in, which is a Scorpio 2 board.
Scorpion 4.
Scorpion 4, sorry, because the other battery was on its way out and it probably wouldn't have lasted the season. So it's just setting up now, so there we go. Yep, automatic payout, exactly what I wanted. And that's about the right set on the volume. So that's one machine down and 2 machines to go. Perfect. Right, so now that one's done, we'll now move on to, which one should we do next? Should we do this one?
This is a bit more complicated, this one.
Okay, then I'll be back in 1 second, guys, and we're going to go to this one. I just need to turn the power on for this side for this one. Right, so Ginger's worked out the problem with this machine is the game card. On the game card, that's also got a battery.
And this one won't charge.
And this one is having a problem charging. That's why it's gone onto low voltage. So what he's doing now, he's taking the RAM chips out.
Taking the program card, all the ROMs off the card, all the game ROMs, because it's the game ROMs that are the main thing. The memory stored on the main board as well. So I need to move all these little chips over onto this new card, and it will still come up with low voltage, but only till the card's charged.
Yep. So basically, these 2 cards are universal cards. Now, what the term is the chips that are on the game chip, the volume chip, and stuff like that. So they just literally unclip out of one and then clip into the next one there. And then once he's done that, he will then clip that into the main board, into one of those there. So as I said, that board is a pretty generic board. But the game card is a generic game card, but the chips are what the individual run the games. So, let's see, we've got 1 down, 2 to go, and this is number 2, which he's working on now. So, I'll show you once he's finished, and let's see if he fixes the problem. Right, guys, he's now put the program card in. So, that's the old program card. He's took the chips out of it and put it into the new program card. So, now we want to see if it's working. Doesn't seem to be doing a lot.
Still initializing.
Oh, it's initializing at the moment. So we just stand here while it initializes. So what basically happened, it wasn't allowing the machine to kick up because it was showing a low voltage. So the battery was knackered, so it wasn't starting up because the battery was shot. It just shows you what damage these batteries can do, especially when they're shut down during the winter and the machines aren't on and they go cold. Well, that seems to be spinning and stuff like that. Well, it's initialised once, it seems to be initialising again. Door unlocked. So you just need to put the bottom door on. So when are you going to start your own YouTube channel then, Ginge?
I'm not sure yet, pal.
There's a call for it. People want you to be the Ginger Ninja YouTuber of Blackpool.
I'm not sure, guys. I'll be straight with you. I have got a couple of family commitments going on at the moment.
Ah, they still want to see you, don't they? So put in your comments below if you want to see the Ginger Ninja YouTube channel, and would you follow him?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's going back into installation. I'm back in a second once it's going. Right, now according to the Ginger Ninja, this one's now working. As I was explaining, that program card that's been changed has now been put into the motherboard, which is just there. So that's the same chips, just a different board. So that's making a big noise.
Right.
That's probably because the door's open. Yep. For those of you who don't know, in here there are 6 switches. So when the cabinet's unlocked, it gives you an alarm. That's for safety reasons, to stop people trying to break into the cabinet and empty the thing. Because as soon as they try and do that, the alarms will go off, and then I'll come out and beat them up.
Oh yeah, going straight out at you, pal. Hard we're going. Port reset.
So obviously the RAMs have reset themselves, so Ginger's having to set up the whole thing again because it's lost its memory. Right.
Play and tackle. Where did I put the key then? Forgotten, isn't it, mate?
What?
Where did I put the key then?
I don't know. There it is. Is that it? There. There's the key there.
Yeah. Losing my head, Chris.
Have you locked
Losing
it?
my head.
Is it locked?
It's locked.
It's locked.
Losing my head, pal.
He's losing his head. So now we're going to put it all together.
And we should get a RAM error 53. It's now charging.
So it's now charging up the battery on the
Game card.
I love doing these videos because there's so many people going, you should have done this, you should have done that. All I know is it wasn't working before, now it's working now.
The thing is, yeah, there are some people that will go about it a different way, but if you don't work methodically and go the way you were taught in the first place, then you're going to make a mess of what's happened. Now the machines are on.
Absolutely, yeah. People keep saying it's this, it's that, and the other. That's why.
I don't just do Chris's. I've been going to Happy Days, obviously retro slots, white size amusements.
You do them all,
basically. I do most of them, so I must be good at what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Well, if you weren't good at what you're doing, I wouldn't let you in here. You wouldn't be let here, would you?
Exactly.
Right,
so the pudding, 1's on, 2's on.
Right, so we're just going to make sure this is working now. And again, we'll chuck a quick through it, make sure it's all working. Low battery, so it's just
I knew that was coming.
It's just going to charge the battery up. Now, this was the original problem, but obviously they've just put a new game card in and the battery's flat on the game card.
Yeah.
So what we've got to do is allow the battery to charge up.
We need to open it. I'm going to open the doors for
Okay then, so once the battery's charged up, I'll show you it playing. Right, this is the last one and the most important one, my Dell's Millions. The board had gone on this. There was quite a bit of extensive damage on the board, wasn't there?
There was. We've had it cleaned up, repaired.
So
the new battery put on the board. I'll show you the battery now.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of extensive. This just stopped working. So what we're doing is Ginger's going to do this while this one is just charging the battery up. It's got a door unlock at the moment, but we know that because it's going to charge the battery up. So we're going to go back to that. While we do that, we're going to replace the motherboard in this one. Now, out of the 3, this was the most important because I love this machine. This is a proper classic machine. Okay, then I'll show you when it gets inside. And let's hopefully, we'll get 3 out of 3. And then that'll be everything working on the deck. Right, Ginger's going to explain the work that's been done on this board. This is the board. What board is it?
This is Scorpion 2. This is 2 versions before that one, before the Bullet. This area here, as you probably may see, you may see a little bit of pitting. All this area is damaged due to a battery. Sometimes it does show through the back and sometimes it doesn't, but as you can see, the soldering work has been done.
You can see it's had a new.
It's got a new battery on it.
It's had a brand new battery put on it.
So hopefully. Oh, also, as you can see, a bit of solder work on there. The transistors for the reel in question have been changed. So hopefully.
So that was the problem, wasn't it?
Well, this is the problem, but with the test itself, it was put on an actual Scorp 2 test rig, which is a piece of technology made by Belfruit to test it. It's not an actual machine, but it does. It functions like a machine. They've tested the full board on the Scorp 2 rig. Go through the test modes, and it has a set of lamps on it, LEDs, which shows the alphanumeric display. It also shows the lamps itself, and uses them LEDs for reels as well, to check the reel function as well. As far as it all checked out, but in the machine is a different story. So it's about now making sure it works in the machine.
So from my point of view, what happened was it was giving me a reel error.
Reel error 2.1.
And there was nothing wrong with the reel, so it only left the board. Now, so it was a couple of resistors had gone and one of the reel outputs. Now at the same time, the battery was on its way out. So you may as well change the battery while you got the board out. You know, the board's going to have a couple of resistors put in, you might as well put a new battery in.
Done.
It's been set up, so you might as well have it done. So he's had this done from friends of his who've got all the proper equipment. There it is, and he's about to put it in. So let's see if we can get 3 out of 3. Now obviously, while he's putting that board in, we'll go back to this one. Now this is open, as I've said, we're just leaving this for about 10-15 minutes for it to put some charge into the new battery on the game card. Go back to your crazy foods, that's working perfect. So we got no problems with that. So hopefully we will have every single machine working perfectly. Now the only thing left for me then is I've got a couple of bulbs out on a couple of machines. Nothing major, but like for instance, that number 3 is out there. And that nice number's out there. And 80p. There's nothing that's more annoying for me in an arcade is 1, having machines on the deck that don't work, and 2, machines that do work having bulbs out, so you don't know how the game's playing. So once these last machines are done, I will then probably spend a couple of hours here tonight replacing the last bulbs that need doing. There's not that many, to be fair. I do tend to keep on top of the bulbs during the season, because that's a personal dislike of mine. So here he goes. He's going to stick all the wires in. I apologise again for the shine off his head.
I've got a right shine on.
I'm allowed to say that because I'm a complete slaphead.
Oh, I've got a right shine.
So all he's doing is he's just putting the relevant leads onto the board now and make sure it works. I'll see you in a bit. So guys, we're back again. This is going to be one big ass video, this is. Right, he's plugged it all in now. Now, I want to make sure we don't end up with that reel error problem we had before. We have a problem here, guys. I've changed the board and it looks like I've got the same error. Oh dear, bad ginger. So it's a bit of diagnostic time now, isn't it, Ginge?
It went off. Right, it went off. Right. Stopped itself in mid-flow.
This is what happens when you do machines. It's a case of going through a process of elimination. Now, sometimes it's an obvious thing, and other times it can take quite a while to get to the bottom of it. So that's why we employ the professionals like you, isn't it, Ginge?
That's it, Bob. One pin miss.
So guys, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We've still got a problem with this board. So this board's going to have to go back to the engineers and have another look at it, because it's still not there. They've replaced some resistors on it, but not the. It's still giving me a fault, and we know it's not the reels themselves. So it's obviously something to do with the board. Now apparently we've had the resistors changed on reel D. which is that reel there, but it seems to be reel C that's gone, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, they were all metered out.
Yeah.
Every transistor and resistor was metered out this afternoon, because I've been there this afternoon. I've personally watched him do it. He has changed 4 of them, but he did also say that there's a big like a big computer chip on it.
Yep, that's
It's
that
an
one.
ASIC chip.
That's
Big one here.
that's that one down there. So that may need changing.
That may need changing, yeah.
Because I'm guessing that if it's had a fault, yeah, it could have damaged that chip.
No, so all your reels run through this here, yeah. So these are all your transistors, resistors, and it runs through this. Now, if this is damaged, it's obviously sending a fault back to everything else, where that's why it's stopping the program from actually booting. We do get real movement, but what seems to happen in it is the optol keeps going off and on, which we know is not the reel. We've changed the reel, it does it with another reel, so we know it's not also that. But I've also looked at the wiring, and the wiring seems to be intact again. So I'm putting it still down to the board. We do get an opto at the start, and we do get an intermittent opto once I disconnect it and put it back together, so we know that line is physically working. So again, so it's back down to the board. The board will get sent off again, or I'll be taking it back down, and it will be repaired.
Okay then, guys, so that's 2 out of 3 done, so we've still got 1 machine out. So there'll be another video on that. So for you machine geeks, you'll absolutely love that. So if you like this type of content, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, and put your comments in the bottom. Do you think Ginger is the Ginger Ninja of Blackpool, or do you think he needs his own Facebook page? Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.